Welcome to another episode of Who Gives a Dram. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. It's St. Patrick's Day. It's the day of the Irish. I got the Irish flag behind me, and I hope everyone is drinking some good whiskey or just spending time with I don't know if you spend time with family on St. Patrick's Day, but I do. And we had our St. Patrick's Day party this weekend, and it was fun, and it was a good time for everybody. Had some good whiskey, was able to spend time with family, and it was just great. So happy St. Patrick's Day, and welcome to another episode of Who Gives a Dram. Quickly, if you're not already, follow the podcast on Instagram at Who Gives a Dram. Make sure you're subscribed on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Rate, review, comment, the whole 9 yards. And also check out thegrapevinemedia.com to check out all of our podcasts and all of our blog posts about whiskey, sports, fighting, MMA, and a whole plethora of other topics. So I want to start the podcast by saying that I was struggling to find motivation today to record. Not that I didn't want to, not that I didn't know what I was going to be talking about. Obviously, we're doing proper number 12 Irish whiskey today. I was just, I have a lot going on, and I wanted to have an ample amount of time to record and edit and do the whole 9 yards to make sure this podcast is great. And so I was just thinking of ideas of what I wanted to talk about during the podcast and how I wanted to approach the subject of Proper 12 and how I wanted to talk about the stories I want to talk about and so on and so forth. And then I just perused onto Instagram, where I posted a photo of Proper 12. I'm recording this on Monday, and I posted the picture on Monday. And I'm looking through my notifications, and I see none other than a like on my picture from the champ himself, Conor McGregor. I'm speechless. I am speechless. I don't know how to react. I have been a huge Conor McGregor fan since 2015, and I've essentially followed his every step. It's well documented. He's my favorite athlete. He's one of my favorite people, and he liked my Instagram picture. And I don't care if it's just a automated like, maybe for Proper 12. I choose to believe it's not. I choose to believe that he checked out the Who Gives a Dram podcast page, and he looked at my picture, which I think was a pretty cool picture because my canvas painting of Conor McGregor is hanging up in the background of it, kind of faded out. And I choose to think that he chose to double tap my picture. So, champ, Conor, thank you for liking my picture. Thank you for the support of the podcast. And if Conor McGregor can check out my Instagram page, so can you. So go check out my Instagram at Who Gives a Dram. Worst advertising of all time, and it's actually the best advertising of all time. How many people can say that the champ liked their picture? Probably a lot, but I mean, I'm wearing a sweatshirt right now. My sweatshirt says "Whoop ass and look good, August McGregor." It's an August McGregor sweatshirt, and I'm wearing it. I'm actually wearing his sweatpants right now too, my August McGregor sweatpants. So, how fitting is it that we're fitted out in Conor McGregor apparel, and we're gonna do some Proper 12. We're gonna rate and review Proper 12 Irish whiskey today, and I'm excited, man. And this is gonna conclude the Irish whiskey takeover here on Who Gives a Dram. So I hope everyone has enjoyed the 4 different Irish whiskeys that I've tasted. It's definitely not going to be the last time we do Irish whiskey on the show. That's for damn sure. Although I don't prefer Irish whiskey neat per se. I do like the taste, and I do enjoy the history behind Irish whiskey. So I'm excited to do more, to review more Irish whiskeys, and to I'm just gonna take a sip of water real quick. So disrespectful. Yeah, if you have some Irish whiskey recommendations for me, let me know. My boy Whiskey Sith, who just posted a Proper 12 picture, he's drinking some Proper 12 tonight with me. He just sent me a few recommendations. I got to get some Redbreast. I got to get the 12-year. I got to make that investment in the Redbreast 12-year. I've heard nothing but good things about it, so that might be my next whiskey purchase. I don't know. I've been trying to go to like a bottle a month, about, but sometimes that's tough. Like if I go into a store and I see a Colonel H. Taylor sitting there, I'm buying it. I don't care. I have to. I've been trying to look for Weller Foolproof as well, but that's impossible to find. But that's neither here nor there. The fact of the matter is, the champ likes Who Gives a Dram, so you should like Who Gives a Dram as well. That's it. This is a guy on the Mount Rushmore of the UFC, the most popular athlete in the world, one of them at least, one of the highest paid athletes in the world. And I actually was reading an article recently that Proper 12 was the fourth highest selling Irish whiskey in 2020, and they moved a hair over 220,000 cases, I believe. If you hear that rumbling, that's the train going by, because I live right next to a train station. So sorry about that. Jameson was number 1. Tullamore Dew was number 2. Bushmills was number 3. Proper 12 was number 4. That is no easy feat. 200,000 plus cases that's a lot of cases. That's millions and tens of millions of dollars in revenue. But I did read that Conor McGregor was bought out of his 50% ownership stake in Proper 12, meaning that he does not have a ownership case in Proper 12 anymore. Now, I don't know if that's true, but what I did read was the guy got paid $200 million to buy out. And if I'm Conor McGregor, that's exactly what I'm doing as well. Because the fact of the matter is that when it comes to branding, and it comes to an athlete or a superstar, a celebrity getting behind a product, the celebrity is only as good as how relevant they are in that time when it comes to selling products. There are obviously mega stars that transcend that, like I can't think of anyone off the top of my head right now. Like, I don't know, like Michael Jordan, for example, with the Jordan brand. That's kind of a bad example, because that's an established brand, and it has been for years. But if he were to get behind something, it'd be a big deal, because Michael Jordan got behind it. People who are like larger than life like that, and Conor McGregor is like that, but it's different. He's at the height of his fame right now, and although I think he's going to win the trilogy bout versus Dustin Poirier, and I think he's going to go on to win several more fights before he retires, there's a chance, I guess, that he might lose, and it might be his popularity to the general public might go down a little bit. So cash out now while you can. He's always said that in it to make money, it's a prize fighting, and then also, with the whiskey business and everything. So I don't blame the guys, what I'm trying to say. If that's true, then I'm still going to buy Proper 12. I do enjoy Proper 12. I'm still going to buy it and everything. I'm not going to not buy it just because Conor McGregor's not on it. But, yeah, so a few stories. I got 2 quick stories before we get into the review here. Well, first of all, before those 2 quick stories, tomorrow, which will be Thursday, even though it's not technically tomorrow when I'm recording this, Zack Snyder's Justice League comes out. And I am almost as excited for that movie as I was for Avengers Endgame. And I've been listening to some early reviews, spoiler free, and the hype I have for this movie is unreal now. So, um, the Snyder Cut of Justice League, Zack Snyder's Justice League, is gonna be the movie of the year, I think, and I'm watching it tomorrow night with all my pals, all my cousins, and I'm super excited. So I got that going on for me. Um, two stories. So it's St. Patrick's Day, and I wanted to tell my story from last year, my last year's St. Patrick's Day party. So we had our party. It was like the week before COVID became a thing, and nobody was really scared to congregate in large groups. And our family St. Patrick's Day party there's a lot of people that go. There's must been 50 plus people in the house at once in years past, and it's all family, friends, friends of friends, and so on and so forth. Last year it was a bit smaller. This past year was small as it's ever been, but last year was pretty small. And I had a bottle of Proper 12, and worked all day, tired, coming to my parents' house, excited, Irish music playing, corned beef, cabbage, potatoes, bunch of food, and I just start facing whiskey. And I got about 3/4 of a Proper 12 bottle down, along with several Jaeger bombs, an Irish car bomb here and there, shots of other whiskeys like Jameson and other whiskeys that just happened to be around, and several other drinks that I just don't remember what they were. But I know they had them. I'm sure I had a Guinness, which is the worst thing to mix. The worst beer to mix when you're drinking the whiskey. And I remember, 3/4 of the way through the night talking to my buddy, and the room just starts spinning uncontrollably. And I have to cut the conversation short and say, yeah, man, but I'll catch up with you in a little bit. I got to go to the bathroom. And I cocked my index finger and pulled trigger quicker than I ever have in my life. And for those who don't know what pull trigger means, it just essentially means you stick your finger down your throat to make you throw up, to make you feel better. But it didn't do the trick. I was plastered drunk, and I decided that it would be a good idea to take a shower. The important part about the story is I remember all this too. I wasn't totally drunk where I was blackout, but I fell asleep in the shower for an hour, for a solid hour. I took a nap in the shower, a legit nap too, not a power nap. I took a legit nap in the shower, and I woke up to my cousins opening the shower curtain and just looking at me, and them saying, "Hey, are you all right?" And never mind, I'm downstairs in the basement, where what was my brother and I's room. Now it's just my brother's room. And there's like 20, 25 people downstairs just hanging out, playing Xbox and everything. So the door's wide open. I'm in the shower. I'm all naked. They say, "Are you okay, dude?" And I say, "Yeah, man, I'm fine. I'm good. I'm just in the shower, chilling. No, don't worry about me, man." And they continue to look at me. They say, "Hey, it's are you sure?" Yeah, I'm sure. I'm good, man. Thank you for checking on me." And then I remember very vividly them walking out, people looking behind them through the door, and I just shout out, "Hey, did you guys see my dick?" And then I got out of the shower with nothing but a towel on, and I went out into the room with 30 people in it and just chilled. That's how drunk I was off this Proper 12. So, and I consider this a good memory, by the way. Not a bad memory. So there's my St. Patrick's Day story. I think I hinted at it a few episodes ago. It's a classic. I don't want to say I'm proud of it, but I laugh at it every time I think of it. This year was much more low key. I had a little bit of Proper 12. A tad bit of Jameson, a tad bit of McConnell's. Shout out to McConnell's. Just little half shots worth, just out of respect to the brands. And my brother bought a bottle of Old Forester 1920, and after I had a dram of that, a dram in my Glencairn glass, I tapped out. I didn't want to drink anymore. Wasn't drunk or anything. That Old Forester 1920 is 115 proof, and it's just that will put you on your ass. You got to be careful with those higher proofs. Although I like them, you can continue to drink them and drink them and drink them. It's not a good idea. But I remember when Proper 12 first came out, and I was so pumped. I was so amped. I needed it. I needed this whiskey right here. And I drove out of my way. I probably drove an hour and a half to pick up this $30 bottle of whiskey. And I didn't even appreciate whiskey at this point. I just wanted the bottle. I just wanted it. And I remember I was with my brother and my cousin Ryan when I picked up my first Proper 12 bottle, and I've probably gone through 10 since then, maybe more, especially between my brother and I, maybe upward towards 15 bottles. But I've never sat down and analyzed it before, so that's what we're going to do here. We're going to sit down and analyze this this dram of Proper 12, and we're going to see if it is truly better than Jameson, because I have been on record saying I think it is, but we will see. Let's get into it. We're going to start with the bottle. The bottle is fantastic. The black label with the gold detailed, secondary colors. The white Proper 12 with the tiger with the crown. Airborne, Proper number 12, triple distilled Irish whiskey. A smooth blend with hints of vanilla, honey, and toasted wood. Very proper for very I don't want to say proper, very standard for an Irish whiskey. I love how the bottle right here, I don't know if you can see it on the video podcast, PR proper, I'm assuming. But my favorite part about this whiskey is what's stitched into the glass on the bottom. You can kind of see it there. I'm holding it out on the video podcast. And if you're not watching the video podcast, what you doing? Subscribe on YouTube. You can watch me drink whiskey. But yeah, on the bottle it says "smooth as fast," ingrained into the bottle, and that's a Conor McGregor quote. At least I know that he said that. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. I love that quote. It reminds you to slow down every once in a while. This world sometimes goes too quick. It goes too fast. People go too fast. Slow down a little bit. Slow is smooth, and smooth is fast. That's a great quote. Something to live by. Very inspiring. I mean, not really, but let's get into the whiskey. Color is very blonde. Not a whole lot. Not dark at all. Blonde, pale, however you want to call it. It's got that classic dehydrated piss look, which I'm not saying is a bad thing. That's just what it looks like. Just a classic Irish whiskey look. Nothing special, nothing alarming, just standard. So I have it pulled up here on the old laptop, what the tasting notes should be, as we do every week. I haven't looked at them, but I will compare. All right. Let's give it the old sniff test. Right. Okay. Let it get back. And when you sniff whiskey, by the way, I've never given lessons on this because I am no expert. Matter of fact, I probably sound pretty stupid most of the time. But if you open your mouth when you smell whiskey, it allows the scent to go past your sinuses and actually get into where it wants to get for the brain to process it. It's a little hint I learned from Whiskey Tribe on YouTube. which if you listen to this podcast, I'm sure they come up in the recommended videos after. Their not podcast, their YouTube channel is phenomenal, especially for a novice whiskey drinker. It is where you want to go. You want to go to first. You want to go to Who Gives a Dram, then you go to Whiskey Tribe. But yeah, so this definitely has a stronger nose than Jameson. I do get a lot of honey, and that just might be because they're making me think of honey. A lot of honey, not as much green apple I got on Jameson. A little bit darker of a smell. There's a little more to it. Some butterscotch, honey. Still get that citrus. Don't get me wrong. Still get that citrus. But there's a different sweetness to it. It's kind of nice. Yeah, it's very like citrusy and honey. I don't get any wood from it. I guess I could do a little bit of spicy wood. I get a little bit of spicy wood. That's what they called me in high school. Sorry. Let's drink it. Let's drink it. So, to everybody out there watching, a happy St. Patrick's Day. We're drinking Irish whiskey, and I hope you're drinking with me. If not, I hope you have a drink later. Shlanta. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's definitely better than Jameson. I'm sorry, Seth. I don't know if you're listening to this. I'm sorry. That's just a tastier dram than Jameson. My cousin Seth hates that I say that because he's the biggest Jameson guy I know. And he's actually, to give due credit to Seth, he is one of the people that got me into whiskey. So I'm sorry to disappoint you, Seth, but this is a better dram. It's staying with me a little bit on the back end. A little bit more than I expected. So we should go with the nose. The nose is supposed to be floral and fruity character accompanied by aromas of sweet almond and baked green apple. So I was kind of right, as usual. Flavor. So the one thing I do notice about this, it is very smooth, which is, indicated in the glass, etched into the glass, slow is smooth. It is very fruity and very sweet. I do get a lot of that apple, a little bit of honey, and I also get that oak. That oak is present in this dram. Although this is 40% alcohol, just like Jameson is, triple distilled, just like Jameson is, aged in ex-bourbon casks, just like Jameson is, it has a very different taste profile to it. And not many people are going to get this because Jameson, Proper 12 is becoming like Jameson, where you just kind of drink it at a bar, you shoot it, you don't appreciate it. But if you were to sit down and get someone who actually knows what they're talking about, not me, and sit them down with a Jameson and a Proper 12, I feel like the Proper 12 has a bit more of a sophisticated palate to it. As it's going on, I'm getting a bit more of like a maple syrup. Yeah. Sorry for the pause. I had to let it sit in my mouth for a second. It's the weirdest thing to say. Sit in my mouth. Yeah. Yep. So what I get from this is a mix of citrus and honey, just like the nose, and I get a bit of a higher presence of oak. Really getting pulled from that oak barrel. Let's see what I'm supposed to get. This is according to Flaviar.com. I didn't go to proper12.com this time because from what I remember, they don't have anything. The flavor is incredibly smooth with notes of vanilla, honey-like sweetness, and gingerbread spice. Okay, so like a sweet spice. I can see that. I can see that spice. I think that's what I'm picking up as the oak. But I can definitely see that gingerbread spice. Let me see if I get that now. Now that I'm thinking of it. Reminds me of Christmas. I miss Christmas. Remember the Christmas episodes? I had the Christmas tree behind me, and we were out in the living room. I didn't have my podcast studio yet. How far have we come as Who Gives a Dram? This is episode, I don't know. It might be 17 or 18. I don't know. I didn't check for the episode, and I can't go on my phone because my phone's recording. I suppose I could go on my laptop, but I don't want to. Let's see if I get gingerbread spice. Yeah, I can see it. It's not present. It's not the forefront of the palate, but it's there. Some spice is there. Maybe I'm mistaking that for oak. Maybe. But I get it. I definitely get it. The finish, strong and long finish with a character of toasted wood and honey. Yeah, I think the tasting notes are spot on. This is a dram that is a universal, simple. It's not very complex. It's got its more complex notes when it comes to the spice, but it's a very sweet, honey, butterscotch type fruity Irish whiskey that I personally enjoy more than Jameson. And to anybody who is going to hate on me because of that, I'm sorry. I don't care. Because the best whiskey is the whiskey that tastes best to you. I'm pretty sure Gandhi said that. And whatever whiskey you like the best is what you should drink. Now, I just happen to like this better than Jameson. So, that being said, I forgot what I gave Jameson as a rating. I don't remember. But as its own whiskey, not comparing it to anything else. With keeping in mind that I don't drink Irish whiskeys straight for the most part. I would give this whiskey a... One second. Another sippy poo. 8.1. 8.1 out of 10. And for those who are thinking, oh, that's not good enough, or oh, that's too high. Really, any whiskey that I review is going to be something that I think you should buy. Let's keep in thought that this is a $30 bottle. And now it's some of the most easiest whiskey you can find in the States, at least in the Northeast and New England here. You can find this bottle anywhere. For $30, yeah, it's up there. It's a good one. It's nothing too complex. I'm sure there are Irishes out there that have more complex flavors, that are aged longer, that I probably will like better. But this bottle has a very special place in my heart. I actually still have the original Proper 12 bottle that I bought almost probably 3 years ago now. And that does play a little bit of a role in the rating. But this is a solid Irish whiskey. I would recommend it. I would say you should probably have it on your bar, just to have it, just to have a different Irish whiskey. It's people see it, they know what it is. They know it's Conor McGregor's whiskey. They know what you're gonna get with it. And I just think it's great. This tastes great in cocktails. It tastes great in whiskey gingers. And I just think it's worth having. It's definitely worth having. So that's gonna do it. We're done. We're coming up on a half hour. This is one of our more longer episodes, so I'm gonna head out. Again, follow the Instagram on podcasts. I'm an idiot. Follow the podcast on Instagram at Who Gives a Dram. If Conor McGregor, the champ, can like my post, so can you. So go on there, check my stuff out. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. They're all linked below, whether you're listening or watching. Follow my description, follow the episode description or the video description. You can subscribe to all three. I'm on Facebook, Who Gives a Dram. Feel free to like my stuff. I post videos on there and so on and so forth. And yeah, it's a this was a fun one. This was a fun one. I can't believe Conor McGregor liked my Instagram picture. How crazy is that? But anyways, I'm gonna let my brother Nick Bossy play me out at Nick Bossy Music on Instagram. Stream Pretty New Diamond everywhere. And I'm gonna go do something. I don't know yet, but I'm gonna go enjoy the rest of this whiskey and who knows what else. Probably just go to bed, honestly. But thank you for tuning in, you guys. Your support means the world. Thank you. I will catch you guys next week.
Up in New England, that girl sure loved me. We got together and brought things to life. So I did buy her a pretty new diamond. Ask that sweet woman if she'd be my wife. Kind of feeling love songs are made of. With that sweet woman, spend the rest of my life. Before she came along, I was hurting, but at the end of my tunnel, I saw no light. Broke my heart and I can't keep going. Guess I'll just sit here and get drunk tonight. Vows they meant nothing and she ran to a stranger, and with Johnny Walker I'm passing my time. I asked the Lord, what should I do? But I'm too drunk to hear him tonight. So sit with my bottle while Hank Sr.'s singing. I'm so lonesome I could cry. Gave me back that pretty new diamond and broke my heart a second time. But I got the last laugh when I pawned off her ring, 'cause I bought me a dime bag and a case of Coors Light. I asked the Lord, what should I do? But I'm too drunk to hear him tonight. So sit with my bottle while Hank Sr.'s singing. I'm so lonesome I could cry. So sit with my bottle while Hank Sr.'s singing. I'm so lonesome I could